it. If something doesn't make sense, you can reference back. So let me just show you the market opportunity that I see like immediately. But I want to just bring one technical issue. Like when I Google Garcia's Miami, when you go into your Google My Business profile, I click on the website and it goes to your website. This is the new website that you're happy with, right? Yeah. This one here, Garcia Seafood Grill, is this your website also?
It is, but we don't have, like, the guy that made this website, like, fell off the map, and we don't know where he is. We've tried contacting him like 100 times, and we can't get him to like remove it because we don't. He's the one that has like the domain or whatever.
Right, he owns the domain. Okay. Okay, so then we understand what the issue is. We'll have to think through if there's a solution that we could come up with to help you in regards to that. Okay, so that was just the technical thing that we saw. Obviously, it's been there for a while, so it's got, it comes right up, which is kind of annoying. Okay, all right, so let me show you the good news. Basically, this is Google Ads Keyword Planner. So whenever we start any industry, we always start here because Google, whenever someone's searching for something, it always, starts on Google most of the time, right? And the cost per click is super cheap. So like I was thinking it was going to be multiple dollars, and it's actually like 40, 30 cents for a relevant keyword, like seafood restaurants, Miami, it's 30 cents a click. 30 cents a click for $1,000 in ad spend can generate basically 3,000 website visitors, which is a ton of website visitors. Like if you have a plastic surgeon, let's say a lawyer in Miami is like $20 to $50 to $100 for one website visitor. Cost per click. Here it's 30 cents, right? So it's super cheap. Like we could even advertise on top of Joe's Stone Crab. It's $1 per click, like 14,800 searches per month that they have. So best seafood restaurants, Miami, 590 searches per month. It's 40 cents. We could be right there, right off the bat. The competition is basically low across the whole entire keyword opportunities. And we'll have to strategize like what specific keywords make the most sense. There's probably going to be some testing that takes place. But mathematically speaking, like this is one of the cheapest cost per clicks that exists in any industry.
Okay.
So it's good news, right? Like whether if somebody wants to come in and dominate the market right now with not a crazy amount of money, like if it was going to be $1 or like $3 or $4 or $5, which is still reasonably like potentially worthwhile for even your situation. Like when I came in with my wife, just the two of us, right? We spent like $300. And then now, right, like I'm looking for the next time to come back. So if we can, each person that we bring in, and then we talk about like the loyalty program that we can create from a digital perspective and get people coming back once we have their information with promotions, then we're going to create like a lifetime value. So it's not just a one-time conversion, it's a multiple time conversion. So you understand this part, right? Like 30, 40, 50 cents a click, the search is there. And this is just in Miami, right? So like literally people that live in Miami, Florida, this is the search volume that's happening in your backyard.
Okay, yeah. So basically what would happen is if you were to pay the 30 cents a click or whatever, then when they would search best seafood restaurants in Miami, this would be one of the top, is what you're saying?
We would be the first one that would come up based on the fact that the competition right now is low. We compete in all industries. We compete like with lawyers and where it's, $50 a click and we get to the top within, 30 days, and it's high competition. Here it's low competition. So we'll just be there like, fast. We'll get there fast. Do you guys, do you do brunch on no brunch, but it's okay. So no brunch, but
it would just have to be a whole separate menu and stuff like that.
It's 18 cents a click, 4,400 searches per month. So like to come up with a strategy for that, on Sundays, Saturdays, like whatever you adjust, this is like 18 cents a click. It's stupid. So we could rework we could rework like, you know, this and have a separate landing page with the menu for brunch, right? Like the best seafood brunch, create some videos of the brunch and then pop off on Saturdays and Sundays for that as well. And it's so cheap that we would just be the ones coming up for that.
Yeah.
Okay. Mathematically, I'll show you the math because I kind of worked through the math a little bit as to what the market opportunity could create from a dollars and cents. I don't know if you want to jump right into that, or do you have any questions that you want to like bring up? Like, because yes, we can get to the top of Google. There's a bunch of search, and we can get people coming to your website that otherwise just don't know who you are, right? So like that.
Do you guys do our Instagram also, like, or what?
Yeah, we do all the organic social media stuff, and we can take that stuff over. But so okay, so before I go into the math, let me just explain one more thing to you. So basically, someone searches for best seafood restaurant, Miami, right? They search, we show up number one, okay? They come to our website, and now this is the most important thing that basically will create exponential return. It's profitable right from the beginning from what we're seeing based on the cost per click being so low, but from a lifetime value, we can capture every single website visitor's information. So like right now on your website, you guys don't have Google Analytics. You don't have the codes that give you the ability to.
We're looking at the sheet if you're on the website.
Oh, my bad. Okay, sorry. Okay, so I'm back to the website. I just shown what? Yeah.
We're good now.
Yeah. You don't have Google Analytics on your website, so we don't know how many website visitors are coming per month. So like that's foundationally the first thing we do, set up all the codes on the back of your website that we start evaluating every website visitor, where they're coming from, if they're coming organically, which you have a strong organic presence because of all your reviews and the website's been there. It's like you have that direct people who already know who you are. But the campaigns that we launch are going to be new traffic, right? We're going to be tracking the people that are coming from Google, social media, like everywhere, right? Like everything will be fully tracked. Yeah. But most importantly is that it's actually so cheap on the front end to get website visitors right now that it's almost like laughable. This is super important for when it's more expensive upfront to do remarketing, right? So like people come to your website. Let's say for every 100 people that come to your website, 5 do business, like 5 will inquire, 5 will, you know, in your industry, I think it might be a little bit higher than 5%, but for most of the industries that we're in, it's like 5% and below. So for every 100 website visitors you invest in, you only get like 5 opportunities, let's say on average. The other 95% of the people, they leave your website. So that's 95 out of 100 people leave. And if you don't have the codes on the back of your website to follow the people up, you're basically letting the money out the door. So you just keep reinvesting in new traffic to your website instead of capturing all the people that come to your website, taking their information, like their, you know, IP from their phone, their, you know, desktop, wherever they're coming from. And now when they leave, because we were able to pixel them and like capture their info, if they go on Google or they go on YouTube or they go on Instagram or they go on Facebook, TikTok, wherever they go on their social time, like after they researched you, we can show them our ads.
Yeah. The targeted ads.
Yes, retargeted ads, right? So like retargeting, remarketing, and we can launch a campaign like for Mother's Day, right? Like once we acquire, you know, all these website visitors that are local people who live in Miami, when it comes time for these big days that you want to be filled, like promotional situations, we can do that. Or the days that you're least busy, we can strategize what offers we're going to create to our audience that we've already acquired. And now like all the videos that we do, or let's say we set up one professional production where we really have like a professional videographer come in, capture the every dish, you know, or the best ones with video. And now we can take that content and use like actual videos of the food, of the people, and like, you know, create dynamic content that we can launch to the people that are in our database, the people that have already know who we are, and then create, you know, incentives, right? Like, you know, Tuesday, whatever, Thursday, whatever, brunch, whatever. Like this would be all strategic things that you would say that you want to execute on. But from a digital perspective, in terms of execution, you'd say, here's my idea. I want to do this. And then, you know, like 24 hours later, you have an ad going. And then again, it's all tracked, like click to the website, to reservation, to phone call. We track every single thing that comes in. Like we track all the phone calls and all the clicks and everything like that.
Yeah. Also another thing that we have a problem with is we don't have like a lot of pictures. Like I can take pictures on my phone of the food and stuff, but it doesn't always look like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I have videographers. We can do a one-time production where we can come in and capture, you know, like let's say, you know, on a Saturday night or whatever the day is, Friday night, right? We could start in the daytime, even in the morning. They can come in and capture like the food, you know, the fresh fish delivery, and then, you know, go in the kitchen, you know, video the drinks, video the food. And then now we're going to have this, and then the people eating and smiling and, you know, all that stuff. And we would capture it all in one day. And then now you have, you know, we can load it, we can micro piece it to make multiple pieces of content, like volume. And then also obviously use that for the remarketing ads that, you know, it's going to be relevant for quite a while. Like, you know, one production is going to be relevant for probably a year, you know, maybe two, right? Like it'll look great. And so yeah, that's that. But you know, organic social media, like I look through what you guys are doing, you know, some of the videos you're taking, like you'll want to keep up with some of that. And then we have graphic design teams that can actually also handle that if like you didn't want to really do it anymore. But we would still need like raw images to be like, we would set up a drive where you take the picture, just load it in, and then we would create a calendar schedule that we would be loading, you know, basically like once a day, something new. But even for story, you guys could still kind of like, you know, participate.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, so do you want to just mathematically take a look at what, you know, what we see from an investment of ad spend against what, you know, we project the return could be?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so let me open that up. Does everything make sense up to now? Is there something that's like not clear from a technical perspective? Makes sense. Okay. All right. So let's just say the ad spend, and I have 3 columns, but just follow this one across here, the top one.
Okay.
So basically for $1,000 in ad spend on Google, I'm just taking a round number of 50 cents. You know, we looked at brunch being, so like I could even just come down here and say brunch, right? Is here brunch, and then brunch is 18 cents. So for the next line item, we could look at it, you know, to see what that could generate. But let's just look at the best seafood restaurant near me, around number of 50 cents. That would generate 2,000 website visitors basically for $1,000 in ad spend mathematically. We get 2,000 website visitors. Let's say out of those 2,000 website visitors, we get 5% lead conversion. You know, phone call, or they reserve online, whatever the case may be, 100 leads. Let's say we convert 50% of them into a sale, so that people show up and do business with us. 50 people came in. Am I off on the $150 average, or is it higher?
Not everyone always buys like stone crabs, and which are the highest price thing. So I would say that's fine.
150 is fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so 150, 50 deals times $150. You know, per let's average, that's $7,500 in gross revenue.
Okay.
If we multiply it to 6 times a year, which again, this obviously grows by 6, right? So 7,500 times 6. Now we're talking much bigger numbers. It's almost $50,000.
Yeah.
From $1,000 investment, only because this is so cheap. Like if this becomes $10, you know, this becomes $375 in gross revenue, because we only got 2.5 deals, right? So like this is why in this specific moment, and we're, you know, I gotta be honest, like we're in all industries, but we don't like just specifically focus on restaurants. Like when I opened this and saw the cost factor on these cost per clicks, I'm like, wow, gold mine. You know, this is actually crazy that no one's paying attention to this. So it's good news. And again, now, so, okay, so that's, you know, basically best seafood restaurant near me. There's like 10, there's probably like 5 to 10 variations of this that make sense for us to test and see how they perform. And it's all trackable, right? Like we know which specific keywords people are putting in, how many times their ad appears, how many times they click it, how many times they come to the website, how long they spend, what pages they look at, and exactly what action they take. Every single step is tracked. So editable, adjustable, you know, it's based on data. So it's not like guesswork. We're not guessing. We're not just throwing, you know, basically anything at the wall and just hoping it sticks. Like foundationally, this is how business works. And this mathematical equation is profitable for you guys, like right off, you know, right off the bat. And then again, like, you know, talking about the lifetime, like the loyalty for me, because I had such a nice experience there, like I wasn't thinking about cost per click. Like I was expecting it to be way higher. I was thinking, okay, how can we come in and do remarketing and acquire website visitors and give you like a really long-term value, like driven, you know, marketing system that we do for everybody. But this is like a 10x compound because it's so cheap on the cost per click. So like, I'm just very confident that this would, you know, work right from the beginning for you guys. And then again, you know, like strategically brunch, and then we can test stuff and adjust on the fly, create landing pages, like if you had offers. And then Zach is a specialist at, you know, the QR codes that we can put on the tables, and every single time the person comes in there, if they scan in, now we have their phone number, we have their email address, and then now that's free remarketing. Like, you know, if I take you down, sorry.
Now we have used the QR codes before, but like for the menu, not for like anything else.
Yeah, so we can, Zach has a system where, you know, it's there's a cost factor, but we can basically set it up to your you know, checkout system where people are paying, that it'll tally up like who's spending what, and you can analyze that data and give people, you know, incentives to come back and see who's what, and like give tiers. Zach can talk to it a little bit more. Zach, you want to talk about the loyalty program a little bit?
So yeah, I mean, you get to the opportunity to track basically how much people spend, like any chance, any opportunity you get their data. You can put it in a spreadsheet, and then you're able to track that back to, you know, make better decisions on your investments, basically.
Oh, you know what? Because she's not on the Zoom, so she might not, and it's on my phone. Kat, can you hear him or not really? Oops.
Yeah.
You couldn't hear him?
Like I heard him a little bit, but I couldn't really understand what he was saying.
Okay, he didn't say anything too crazy. So basically it's because it connects to your proof, you know, your payment system. So if someone, you know, takes action, the loyalty basically is going to calculate everything, right? So you're going to have data on all your clients, right? Who are doing whatever they're doing. So, but the point is, like, you put the QR code on the table and you say, scan in to join our loyalty program, right? You know, and then we can again think through that, like 1 visit, 2 visit, 3 visit, 4 visit, all the way up higher. You know, if it's multi-year, like you get certain whatever, like again, this stuff we strategize together, right? But it's open to our creativity and your internal creativity of what you think, you know, the value is to get people to feel special about, you know, being part of Garcia's. Like that was the vibe I got. You know, and obviously being since it's 1966 since you guys have been open, right?
Well, it's 1966 since my grandfather started the company, but we opened in 1993, I want to say, or 96. No, my sister was born in 96, so I think it was 93 or 92 that they opened.
So what, however we market it, right? Like it's 30 years, you know, it's a family business and all that stuff. And that's the vibe you get. So like, you know, as a patron and first time person there, like you guys have and then all the pictures on the wall and all that stuff. Like that's the stuff we want to bring out, you know, for the marketing perspective. Like we can remarket with that, right? Like having a video that plays on everyone on the wall and all the people that have been there and on the waterfront, and then the food, the dynamic element of it, like we can bring all that to life you know, Google's boring, like, but people start there, right? Like they search, they don't know where to go, and there's plenty of search in your local market. Let's get them going on your website. And as soon as they leave, then our dynamic, you know, like creativity comes and starts remarketing them to make the decision, not just to come back, not just to come even the first time. Like, you know, this is okay, so let me just take you onto this next column. I don't want to get too far into the math, but you're still looking at the sheet, right? This Excel sheet.
Yeah.
So basically, if you just follow me one more time mathematically. So here, $1,000 ad spend, 2,000 website visitors. We did 5% conversion, and we did 100 leads. 100 leads, right? That's month one. So when you come down here, this is month two remarketing. So for month one, we had those 2,000 website visitors, right? 2,000 website visitors, and we had 100 leads. That means we didn't convert 1,900 people. Right. And now this is what starts to take exponential effect. You're not reinvesting $1,000 on the front end anymore for these 2,000 people. We are like, you know, for a 2,000 person audience, it's like a couple $100 to show them ads that follow them multiple times across a month on Instagram, on Facebook, like visual video ads. And we only pay when they click, when they come back like a second or third, you know, or fourth time. We only pay when they click it. So it's different than like Google upfront, so that you can get free eyeballs, free video impressions from the remarketing. So basically now each month we'll be building an audience. If we invest 1,000 on ad spend, each month we'll acquire, you know, 2,000 on this keyword. If we did brunch, you know, and especially, well, I guess we're not even like looking for transient people really. Like we're looking for people who live in Miami because there's strategies on the people that are visiting also. But like 5,000 on brunch, that would be how many website visitors we would get for $1,000 in ad spend. And then next month we would be able to remarket with brunch ads for people of 5,500 people.
So is this like a once a month payment, or like it would be a one-time payment upfront?
Yeah, for us, we work on retainer. So we're basically your marketing agency on a monthly basis. As we manage it, you know, everything from the website. Again, if you want to do organic social media, like there's different versions of what it is that we can do. But fundamentally, like I would say, okay, start with Google Ads, create a remarketing, you know, on Facebook, Instagram, Google, YouTube to make sure that we're following everybody and building this audience. And again, like if this math, you know, this math has to work, right? Like if this math works, and it's based on the market. It's not just like we're hypothetically making up numbers. Like this is what the market costs to enter. It's very profitable for you guys to be able to just bring in this new business. So yes, our objective is multi-year relationships with everybody that we work with. So that's the structure of how we do it. So we have a monthly retainer. You know, and then we determine what.
Once a month is what you're saying, and you guys would just figure everything else out.
Yeah, we do, you know, we can meet once every 2 weeks or once a month and go through the data and everything like that and come up with, you know, like phase one right now, you don't have Google Analytics, you don't have the code. So you don't have, I don't know if I think you might have been running some Google ads. I think I saw.
We did one time, but I don't think we do anymore.
Okay. So we would set up like, you know, phase one is this, set up Google, set up all the tracking, set up the remarketing ads, and like, you know, get it working in the first 2 months, right? Like, cause you know, we have to enter the market, we have to build the ads, all that stuff. Once that's like working and on autopilot, then we start thinking like, what specials can we do? Like what are added things that we can do to come up with like a calendar of creativity that's not just doing general, you know, Google ads and remarketing. Like how can we now step our game up further? And again,
so I talked to my dad a few times about doing like nightlife, because we have a liquor license and all the restaurants by us do like Kiki on the River and all those restaurants, they do like a lot of nightlife and they're open till like 5 a.m.
Oh, wow.
We have the liquor license at them.
I see.
The only thing is that I would basically have to do that on my own. So right now I was thinking, not immediately right now, but maybe in a couple months to do it like once a month type of thing.
Okay.
And see how it works out. And then from there, if it does really well, then maybe I would do like Fridays and Saturdays.
Okay.
But that's just like one of the ideas that I have. And then also to do brunch, but that would be a whole other ballgame with a kitchen, so I have to figure that one out, but.
Okay. Well, there's in today's market, with what we do, there's no limitation to what it is that we can do, basically, from like people search for whatever it is. I mean, I can take a quick look at the nightlife situation to see what the keywords are. If you know what the market there is. Sometimes there's situations where we look at it and it doesn't make sense. This one makes all the sense. But let's look at. So like what would be somebody searching for best Miami night?
Maybe a club scene, it'd be more like a bar scene. So I don't
time restaurants. I don't know if that's the exact wording, but let's
and I don't think it would be food. It would just be alcohol. But
so let's yeah, like it's not a
nighttime bars.
Nighttime bars. The thing is, what will happen is that when we start marketing to the restaurant goers, we're gonna build our audience, right? So that's another thing that we could just like test, right? Like people who know you, who will be eating, we're gonna have their information, so we could just run specific promotions to them, broadcasted, like saying Garcia is now doing this once a month night thing, and it's a wait list, right? Like in advance, and see who even, you know, takes action on it. That's also a thing that on Facebook you could probably just run that to like to an age bracket that you want, and that's different than like Zach. You have some input on the nightlife situation.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely lots of opportunity to get people in for that. And you can run, like, one of the things we didn't really talk about is chat bots. I don't know. Can you hear me? My internet's been in and out this whole
No,
call, so.
she can't hear you because it's on my phone.
I can hear him a little bit, but not really clearly.
Yeah, so I mean, with the younger, like if you are for drinks and stuff, you know, trying to target people like, you know, maybe 35 and under or whatever, who are, you know, potentially a little bit more tech savvy, there's some pretty cool stuff that's available through Facebook to get people's, you know, cell phone numbers, their numbers and their contact info basically attached to their Facebook or Instagram profile. And once we have that, well, first off, you can continue to communicate with those people really cheap, but you can also upload their information to the platform. And because their information actually comes from that platform, then it becomes very cheap to serve them follow-up ads. Anytime you have something going on or something that you want to do, you know, you can just hit that list up and, you know, for probably $10, I mean, it's about $10 per 1,000 people. So if you get 1,000 people on there, you know, you could, you know, theoretically fill up your, you know, your spot with, you know, very few people for not a lot of money.
It's all about the remarketing and the chatbots, you know, basically make it cheaper. That's what just Zach is saying. We can do it. I think right now, like clear as day, the restaurant, your prime business is has room for like market grab, basically, where it's so cheap that it's like, you know, like it's almost like losing market share, like you're losing opportunity, and if someone else takes it, then they're just going to take it like the market. And it's crazy that I guess Joe's is like so well known that they're not utilizing this technology. Like they also are not even remarketing, which is, we're looking at their website. It's like, it's crazy that they're not doing that. I mean, they have 14,000 searches per month. They could.
My uncle's the one that worked here also with me, and he always said that, like, oh, you don't see Joe's doing marketing, you don't see Hillstone's doing marketing, and I'm like, yeah, I get it, but it doesn't mean that we wouldn't benefit from it. So.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you on that one. But if they did start, then what would happen, right? Like that's kind of the point. It's like losing. How can you lose more market share instead of actually grab the bull by the horns and start generating your own business, like waiting for them to do it? You know, I mean, like there's sectors in the leading industries are marketing, right? Like, and it works. and it's you know, people are old school, people don't.
Yeah, and that's exactly how my uncle and my dad are. They're very old school. They're like, we've been around for years. We don't need marketing. Just post up on Instagram. We'll be fine. I'm like, yeah, but then during the week, we're like not dead, but we could definitely have more people.
Right. Yeah, I mean, listen, the search is there. Like, people are searching every day for it. So it's not just like because they know where to go. They don't search it because they know where to go.
Yeah.
You know, like how many more people can you handle in a month that you're not handling? Like, that's a basic question that you know, you can ask them. And if it's if there's like a 70% or even if it's a 20% room for growth, like, you know, based on that, why are we not taking advantage of it? But you know, when you look at the math, like the math is literally it's pretty dynamic math. Like, it's just on 1,000 in ad spend on one keyword, you know, if you can convert, like, again, we're not estimating a big conversion on the website visitors. We're estimating 5%. It's 100 people. And then we're saying only half of those people come in, and that's on the front end, $7,500 for every 1,000 in spend. What about the LTV becomes 900 on times 6? That's 40. That's a 42x return on ad spend potentially.
Yeah.
And if you and then it's not like you're oversaturated. You know, I mean, I don't know, like 50 people in a month. That's probably what percentage of your business right now? Like, you know, how many people per day can you handle?
I would say on average per day.
Yeah.
During the weekend is a completely different thing, but the weekends, I think they would probably say about like for lunch 500 and dinner 500, so like 1,000 on the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it's that's, you know, that's per day.
Yeah, we have a lot of tables also. Like when you were here, you sat downstairs outside. That's have a whole upstairs inside and outside.
Oh yeah, so that's what we were. I was wondering about that before. Like, is there how much room can? I mean, that's crazy. We can just rock and roll. Like, you can. Who cares that they're not marketing? Why don't you guys could? But so if you're handling, so what percent of the 1,000 on each Saturday are you handling?
Me?
No, I mean, like right now, you know, your restaurant on Saturdays, are you handling all 1,000 that you could handle, or how many people are actually coming in?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't work here on Saturdays and Sundays. I've come a few times, but from what I've seen, the difference between the week and the weekend is like very significant. So, I don't know. I think we don't really struggle on the weekends as far as like getting people through the door. Like, there's always people here. There's never really a wait, which isn't a bad thing, but like if you're going to a really good restaurant, I feel like a wait is normal.
Of course.
So I would say like normally it's like 30 minutes, but like back then it used to be like an hour, it's 2-hour wait, and now it's like it's dropped. So I don't know how to get that to go back up. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say because I don't think that that's a bad thing necessarily. Maybe people are just having quicker turnover rates, but
I think foundationally that all we're talking about right now is bringing an extra 50 people, generating $7,500 in revenue for every 1,000 in investment on ad spend to Google. That's a 7.5x return on a first time, and assuming they only come once. If they come, you know, once every 2 months, it's a 42x return on the dollar.
Yeah.
And you have the capacity to handle way more than 50 deals that we're proposing to bring in for every $1,000. Like brunch at 18 cents is, I mean, you know, that number on the 150 for one time, it's $20,833 because you get so many website visitors.
I don't see why we wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I'm not even like saying let's do brunch. I'm just saying that in your specific exact words of seafood restaurant near me, there's thousands of searches and they cost under 50 cents per click. So, and we're not saying that these are one-time people. Like, we can build a database of this at the end of the next year of like 25,000 website visitors or 50,000 website visitors, probably more likely. and we can just, then we don't even, I mean, we can continue, obviously it's financially makes sense to continue advertising on the front of Google. It's like if all the restaurants woke up and drove the cost per click up, then we would say is, you know, the math, it might not be as appealing as it is right now, but we would have 25 to 50,000 people in our database, plus the loyalty situation that we would set up and have everyone's information, because we would actually just set that up right off the bat. Like, come in, scan the QR, and now we have their info, because as soon as they QR code, they scan it, instead of reading the menu, they're coming into our loyalty program. So now we can text and email them for free. So we don't even have to run, you know, like that's an additional, you know, point of entry. And in addition to doing this marketing and spending money, we can enter that loyalty program and create that now for all the people that are already coming in, and now take their data and use that data to get them to come back more often with text and email for free. So that's, you know, in addition.
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
So what do you think the next step is in regards to, like, for you, it makes sense. Obviously the dollars, you know, are kind of clear. What do you want to do, a call with your uncle and your dad, or are you just going to make that decision on your own and
talk to them?
Yeah.
I mean, my uncle doesn't really have a say, to be honest, but I'm going to talk to my dad. I think he would probably think that it's a good idea. He's just gonna want to know, like, how much money are we talking a month, like, to pay you guys?
Yeah, I think at the beginning, it's you know, the heavy lifting is at the beginning for us. So we would probably look at like a $2,000 a month retainer to start, probably for the first 3 months, and then we can bring that down to 1,500 once we're, you know, basically smooth sailing. And then whatever the ad spend is going to be, right? So obviously when we're looking at ROI, you know, there's the cost factor of our execution. But once we build the system, like, you'll have all the codes in place, all the remarketing codes in place, all the data is collecting, all the ads are remarketing all the audiences. So the system becomes plug and play. Then it's more about like, okay, well, what are the incentives? What are the additional promotions that we can do, and analyze Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to fill those books, to get the restaurant, like, you know, fully occupied as much as obviously is humanly possible within, you know, the infrastructure that you have internally. And then, you know, open up whatever other opportunities there are, because once you have the data of the people that come to your website and again, the current people that are there, and you can broadcast your nighttime opportunity, which, you know, when it's alcohol based, like, you're already paying the rent, it's almost like no cost factor to it, because you already have the place. So whatever comes in from that is going to be pretty much cake. And then, so, like, you know, that's a double up, right? And alcohol is great profit. So
yeah. Okay. That sounds great. I honestly thought it was going to be more than that, but yeah, I'll definitely talk to him. I'm gonna try my best to persuade him to go do it. I don't think it's gonna be a no. If I explain to him like how much it would benefit us, I think he would go through with it. I never see him on the weekends really, so I would probably talk to him on Monday about it, or maybe Sunday, and then I'll get back to you as soon as he gives me an answer.
Okay, well, I recorded this call, so you know, you guys could watch it together. I'm going to send you the video of the call, and you can, you know, watch with your sister as well, wrap your head around it. You know, and again, like, I think I'm still sharing this Excel sheet if you're still on. Yeah, like, if you look at the 6 month, right, like down here, you know, it's 57,000 website visitors that we can collect from, like, if you invested 3,000, we're getting 10,000 website visitors per month at these costs. 10,000 people per month on your website that are tracked. Like, right now, we don't even know who's coming to your website. All of a sudden, you're just going to be like the dominant player, you know, and again, the gross revenue is just stupidly high. It's like 10x here on first time entry times 6. This is like big money.
And do you think that you guys would be able to find a way to remove that old website, or you don't think that you can do that?
That is I'm not sure. Like, Zach, Zach, you have,
we can find out where it's being hosted, and you would probably need to submit the some of your business stuff, basically to prove that you own the company, and that they shouldn't have the website up, and they'll take it down typically for you. It's a bit of a process, but you can get it down.
it'll take some work on our end to do it, but it's something that we can definitely attempt to do. Like we can figure out where it's owned, the domain, and then we can contact them, and it's like a month, maybe 2 month process of back and forth, but it's something that we can.
Sister had told me that we can do something with like a lawyer, and like they would have to take it down, whoever owns it. But I have to ask her about that. I know she had tried to get it done, but
Was there an issue with that person that you're aware of, or is it not an issue?
It's an issue. I think he just disappeared, and now we can't contact him and find him.
Yeah, so I mean, again, we would attempt to figure it out. It's not like a guarantee 100%, like like the math of Google and what we can do. But it's I would say it's like 70-30 that we can execute it versus maybe not, like that's. So I'm just thinking about one other thing here. So like if you come up here and you have, so this is a new domain, it's just Garcia's Miami. So like it comes up first, which we would like to get rid of that, right? So why is Garcia's Miami not even populating as a domain there at the top? That's what I'm curious about. So we would have to do some SEO optimization of the main website that you have here to populate here, number one. I would also probably guide you to buy a few domains that are like similar wording to this, and we can just point them all to this website. So it would be like a minimal, I don't know, like a couple $100 investment to just buy like a bunch of Garcia's, like it could just be Garcia Seafood, right? Garcia Seafood Restaurant versions of this domain. Yeah, like this is Garcia Seafood Grill, so we could do Garcia's Seafood Restaurant, Garcia's Seafood Miami, right? And then get them populating above this, as if the 30% that we couldn't eliminate this, that would be the strategic way I would go about it.
Yeah, I have the contact of the guy that made the website for us. I don't remember his name though.
Yeah, I mean, we could just call him and talk to him and see. I mean, that's basic for us to do. If we just can talk to him, we would get it figured out easy.
Yeah, once I figure out who that was, I'll let you know. But I have it somewhere on my phone.
Okay. Oh, so then that would be even easier.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything? I think I feel comfortable with everything that I've said. That it's kind of clear that we should do it. But anything that is not making sense to you?
No, everything makes sense to me.
Okay.
If I think of anything else, I'll text you and ask you, but everything right now makes sense to me.
And if your dad wants to do a call like this, it's no problem. We do a lot of business with old school people in all different sectors.
It's not well. I'll ask him, but he hates sitting in on meetings, so.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have to do it. He already built the business. He's good. That's
all right.
Okay.
Good. Thank you so much.
Okay, so we'll talk soon. Kat, thank you again.
Thank you.
All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.